Hi everyone! Alright, this is going to be my next video for Fear the Walking Dead Episode 6. It's the Good Man review. Just to start off with everything that happened. Wow, last night, definitely a lot of things happened. And I'm going to go ahead and put this right now, that there is a spoiler warning. Please do not watch this video until you've seen the episode. That way, I don't spoil any surprise for you. Alright. So with that, I'm going to give it just kind of a moment, so that way those people that don't want spoilers can go ahead and click off the video. And alright, so now I'm going to start up. So, and definitely I'm going to just kind of give a entire thing of how I feel about this. Definitely, if I had to rate it 1 to 10, definitely a 10 out of 10. I mean, it had a lot of different elements to it. It was really good. I liked the acting, the military and how they reacted, and certain other things that I'm going to go into, which are actually pretty cool. The first thing I'm going to go ahead and start off with is the fact that the family goes ahead and kind of gets together, and they're going to go ahead and head out. Daniel tries to kill the soldier Andy, but Travis actually doesn't let him do it, and Andy at that same point in time says that he has information that they need, that when they go there, they're not going to know exactly where to go and how to get out. So he kind of keeps himself alive in that way by saying that he has information they want. The thing after that is, you see Daniel Salazar go ahead and open up the gate from what he's seen, and then he goes ahead and starts going off by himself. You're not exactly sure where he goes until a tiny bit later, where you see him walking up to the gate and he's starting to talk to them, and they try to tell him to halt, and they try everything along those lines to say that they're not afraid to shoot him. But in the end, he looks at them and says, "You're going to have to save your ammunition," and kind of looks towards a certain direction, and they see that there are just a bunch of zombies starting to walk towards them, and they start opening fire and calling for backup. Now, that entire situation just gets a whole lot, I guess you could say, worse, with the fact that they start overpowering the walls and the fence, basically, and knock down the tower and do a whole bunch of other things. So there's a mass zombie attack that Daniel brought upon the base, so that way they can use it as a distraction to sneak in and do what they need to do. Now, Strand and Nick are still in their cage at this point in time, and the power starts shutting down, and what ends up happening is they see a whole bunch of soldiers go running by, and Strand is saying now is their time to escape. And he tries to search for his key, and you end up finding out that Nick pickpocketed it from him, and goes ahead and hands Strand the key anyways. Just that entire thing of, haha, I got this from you. And I found it actually kind of funny. Now, Liza in the meantime is trying to help with getting people ready for an evac. And the evac is coming in, and they're circling around, and you can definitely tell that by what they're saying and by what Dr. Exner was saying, that they're probably not going to eat it. Dr. Exner is saying that they're not going to land. The place is already compromised, and evac knows it. And she's still trying to get them to land, saying, hey, they're not on the inside yet, but in the end, evac leaves. Now, in the meantime, when Travis and them go into the base, that way they're trying to find Nick, and also trying to find Griselda, the two kids, Christopher and Alicia, are inside an SUV, and they're kind of waiting there. And in the meantime, what ends up happening is some soldiers come their direction, they bust open the window, and they take the SUV. Now, in the meantime, Chris does get hit because, well, he did hit one of the soldiers, and one of them was definitely hitting on Alicia, which is the reason why Chris got really defensive. He didn't want anything happening to her. So they're starting to tell that there's starting to be a bond there between the two of them. You're not exactly sure what that bond is, but at least they're helping each other out, and they're trying to help each other survive, and he's definitely being protective of her, which is actually pretty cool, because at the very beginning, he did not like her at all, because he referred to them as Travis's other family. Now, Nick and Strand, in the meantime, they're trying to find a certain military guy, and I do forget the guy's name. I know that this is a kind of common thing. I am sorry, but they're trying to find a certain military guy because Strand said that that was his only way out. Now, he went ahead and closed the door before, thinking that he wouldn't need to go back that way, but in the end he needed to go back that way, and in the meantime, the door had sealed shut, and it was one of those mag locks, I guess you could tell, and where you needed a key pass. And what ended up happening is Liza came just in the nick of time with the others, and she was trying to put her card through that as best as she could until it finally clicked open. It opened up, and that released the zombies into the area. Now, before this, the survivors, I'm calling them the survivors at the end of the group, Madison, Travis, Daniel, Ophelia, all of them went to the area where Nick and Strand was staying at, and they started releasing a whole bunch of other people that were trapped. And Travis started by doing it, then Madison kind of started following the lead, so same with Ophelia. And when they finally kind of team up again, everybody's back together, they're starting to try to find a way out. They run into other zombies, then they get to Dr. Exner, who tells them that there's a certain underground area that they can go through to get, so that way they can get out. Now, when they're going, Strand is talking to Madison, Madison saying their plan, that they're going to go east, they're going to go into the desert, and Strand is saying, no, that's not good, you don't want to do that, you want to go west. And he also says that he has a home on the water. Now, when they get back to where the cars are, they don't see that the SUV is there, they also see that Alicia isn't there, and they also see that Christopher isn't there. And they try calling out, and Daniel is pretty much the only one kind of saying, hey, the zombies can hear you, so you might want to keep your voice down. But right after that, Alicia and Christopher, call out, Christopher says, Dad, and they kind of reunite in a way really quickly. They give hugs, and Christopher hugs his mom. He had missed her because she basically left. And they're turning around about to leave, and Andy basically walks up and is pointing a gun, and he says, Salazar. And he's pointing it originally at Daniel, but with his eyes and everything, you could tell he was going to actually shoot one of them, and you could tell that by the way he was looking, he was going to be shooting Ophelia. And in that one, I can understand that, because he basically feels that she betrayed him. Sorry, lost the words there for a minute. She basically betrayed him, is the way that he feels, and Travis coming in from the side knocks him down and beats the ever-loving hell out of him. And you could tell the moments that he's normally been restrained in the past, that definitely left, but he also was able to stop himself as well, so he still had that continued restraint even through what he was doing. He didn't exactly kill him. Now, after this, they go ahead and they get in their vehicles and they start driving off. Where they head is Strand's place. And he's saying that, once again, kind of saying, before, he said that he has a home on the water. People are trying to, I kind of thought that he meant that he had just a house on the water, which you get to see that he did, but he actually has a ship named Abigail. That doesn't come for a little bit later, where you get to realize what Abigail is. But in the meantime, they go to Strand's place. Nick, in the meantime, once they get there, he gets to talk to his mom a little bit, and he says that he's been feeling like he didn't know where he was going for a while now, for years. And he's saying that he feels odd because now everyone else is catching up to him. Which you can definitely tell that that's a powerful moment for him, and also a little bit for Madison, because that realization of he's right, that no one knows where they're going to be going or what they're going to be doing, because everything in their world has basically gone upside down. So that's kind of a turning moment, I think, for Nick, but in the fact that he now feels that he has other people that are now with him instead of feeling so alone. Nick does later talk to Strand, and Strand has binoculars that he's looking through, and Nick's kind of wondering, what he's doing. But then he has Nick see through the see through these binoculars, and you see there's this massive luxury-sized yacht. And he says that is Abigail, and he also says that he has a lot of supplies on that ship. And throughout this entire talk that he's having with Nick, he's saying that the world has changed, that you need to embrace the madness. And you can kind of tell it's embrace the madness in order to evolve, in order to continue to survive. After this, the only thing after this that really is kind of big and really kind of powerful is the fact that you find out that Liza was actually bit somewhere in between, somewhere in that entire fight in the medical area, and she lets Madison know that she wants Madison to basically kill her, to shoot her in the head. And Madison says no, and Liza said, "You asked me to do this. I now want you to do this for me." And she quoted exactly what Madison said by saying that this would break Travis. And Travis comes up and he's wondering what's going on, and sees that there's a gun in Madison's hand, and he walks up to Liza and he's asking, what's going on. He's saying we have antibiotics, we could treat this, and Liza's letting him know, no, you can't treat this no matter what the infection is, no matter what it's not the bite that kills, it's the infection, and no matter who actually dies, they all come back to life. And they put their heads together, they do cry, and after a few moments, he grabs the gun from Madison. Well, he holds out his hand, Madison hands him the gun, and you have a cutscene going to Christopher and to Alicia, who are both having a popsicle, and then you hear a gunshot, and they both kind of look in a certain direction, they both start running off. Daniel even kind of looks up, kind of going, okay, something big happened, like they lost somebody. So out of this entire episode, once again, I'm going to have to say, rating from 1 to 10, this definitely was a 10 out of 10. Reason being is, it really did clinch the fact of what was going on, and it turned the family drama into that zombie apocalypse horror now. That entire thing of, okay, the apocalypse is on, it's not going to stop. They now have to fight for their survival, and we're gonna definitely have to see where this goes. I love the episode. I've been loving the entire season. Yeah, some episodes were slow, and I'm gonna go into a little bit later the review of the entire season. My next video is actually going to be on my predictions for season 2 and what I think is going to actually happen. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Thank you all for watching the video. If you liked it, please click like, please subscribe to my channel, and post comments below on what you thought about the episode and what your highlights were, if you didn't like anything, what didn't you like or why. So with that, once again, thank you for watching the video. You have a good day, and I'll be posting the predictions video within about either today, tomorrow, or Wednesday. So thank you. Have a good day.